Hello and welcome along to the latest instalment of my camper conversion YouTube channel. So this video is part of a series documenting a conversion of a Ford Connect into a micro campervan. It's going to be a micro campervan because this is a short wheelbase standard van. It's not the high top, it's not the long wheelbase. So there's been a few head scratchings trying to get the best layout for things. The bed's pretty much complete now. I just need to have the kitchen pod built to then be able to use that as part of the mount for the extending section for the bed. So I've done some measurements to find out what's going to be best. I'm going to be trying to tuck the unit underneath that stop there, just right up against it. It's going to be around about 1 metre long. It's going to have a 2-burner hob and a sink in it. There'll be a gas bottle storage area with a dropout hole, and then there'll be a water storage area on the other side. Very similar to what I've already done in the Daihatsu Hijet. So if you haven't had a look at those videos, do have a look on my channel. That's pretty much documented job by job. It's just full of cushions for the Connect as well at the moment, but as that little kitchen unit in there, that's fully documented on there, and I'm going to be doing pretty much the same sort of thing. Now, I've been trying to see if I could get it all built out of the same sort of black sparkle material that I've been using for both the Hijet and also for my T4. All of my units in the T4 there are all built of the same material as well. As you can see, I've got the full kitchen unit there, toilet cubicle, fridge unit, all the beds are faced with it as well. Looks quite nice when it's in. Unfortunately, this is the only main sheet I've got left of it. That and a few offcuts kicking around, but the offcuts are just all too small really for the use that I need them for. So what I'm going to be doing is building the main surround for the unit itself, and then using this sheet here, the blue one, as the actual worktop for it. It's the same material, it's just a different face on it, so it'll all still match in quite nicely. It's just a shame I couldn't get the full lot built out of the black sparkle, but my friends kept telling me I should do a worktop with a different colour anyway, so we'll see how this turns out. And you never know, I might start doing different worktops with a standardised unit build around them. We'll see how it turns out anyway. So I've just been doing some measurements. I'm just about to start cutting. I've got the 2 end panel pieces there, and that's going to be the main front piece. I changed my mind a few times when I was measuring things out, and I'm now set that this is going to be the best sort of use of the wood that I've got there. There's still going to be a supporting bar going across the front as well, and that's what this section of ply here will sit on top of. It'll sit along the bed frame there, along the front, and it'll sit on top of a supporting bar that's going to be mounted on the kitchen unit here as well. So I hope you find the video useful as we go along. I'll try and document it step by step as I go. So the first things first, it's just time to get some mask on, some safety stuff, better safe than sorry. Start getting some wood cut down, and then we'll start getting it assembled. I've got some CSL timber to use for the frame as well. So as I say, I'll document it as I go, and we'll see what it looks like when it's all pretty much finished. So I'll get all my gear done and start getting some of the wood cut down. So with everything cut down, I've just very basically just mocked it together just to see what it's going to look like, what sort of floor space is still going to be left, and it looks as though it's going to be plentiful really, so shouldn't really be any issues from the looks of it. So it's just a case of now cracking on, getting some of the CSL timber cut for the actual construction of it, and I'll say I'll have to go nip out and get a hob. I haven't got that yet. I was meaning to get it during the week, but nip out, get that, start constructing this together, and pick it up, and it's come together quite nicely. So I've just been trying to work out what's going to be the best sort of configuration under the unit. The unit itself will house a 4.5 kilo butane or propane bottle. It's a little too small to be able to hold the 6 kilo or 7 kilo bottles, but that's just because I've still got to leave plenty of room here just to get the cooker in and gas, this, that, the other. So that's still going to be nice and big enough with a big enough bottle inside it. I've had a look underneath the van as well, and there should be plenty of room just for a dropout hole just around about there, and that should go underneath nicely, just where there's a little bit of spare metal under there. So I'll be putting the dropout hole in as per usual. I always do if I'm putting gas into a van, just for safety more than anything else. On the other side, that's still going to leave plenty of space probably there for a nice battery bank with water storage, and again hopefully I'm going to be able to get external drainage straight out from the sink going into that bit as well. So it's coming together quite nicely. I say that's nice and securely in place, and it hasn't even had any mounting brackets on it yet. I've cut it that tightly because obviously with it being gas you want to try and get it as tight and secure as possible. I'm still going to run a bead of sealant going all the way around that and around the internal of the frame anyway, again just in case there were any issues. It means the gas would have nowhere to go other than straight out the dropout hole. So I'll crack on and pick it up as and when we go along. So I've been out and bought a brand spanking brand new cooker for the actual inside of the van as well. It's not going to be getting anything new used in the kitchen. It's going to have a brand new sink and a brand new hob as well. This is a 2-burner with a grill underneath as well. It's a Kampa one, so it's a good brand. So I'm just about to get this out and have a look and see what it looks like. It's rather a static one. You get somewhere you lift the lid and the whole unit lifts up and moves back. This one is fully static inside with just the lid to lift up to give you a heat guard against the carpet on the back. So I'll get this out and see what it starts to look like. So when drilling holes for either the gas dropout or the water drainage, it's always best just to start off with a small little pilot hole. If that was put then in the wrong place, it's much easier just to seal up a small tiny little hole compared to some of the hole saws that are needed for some of these jobs. So that's what I'm going to do now. I've been under the van, I've marked up pretty much where I think should be fine. Now I'm going to drop a pilot hole through, make sure that's okay and that the hole saw itself isn't then going to obstruct anything when that goes through. If it's all good, then we'll crack on and get the hole cut in. I'm just about to cut the hole for the sink. I'd obviously marked where the inside beams were because I didn't want to be cutting into where the sink would have been having to sit inside the beam. Then I would rather cut the beam. Again, measure 2 or 3 times just to be sure. That's the sink I'm going to be using. It's a nice little sink there. Now to get the inside dimensions, I've actually just went through my balls inside and I managed to get one that sits just nicely on top of the lip on the outside, but it doesn't cover it. So that should be perfect size. So I've used that just to draw around the template. So now I'm just going to get the drill out, put a quick pilot hole in and jigsaw and get this cut out. So with the sink rough mounted, I haven't put it in with any sealant yet as you can see, but it's a nice lovely fit around there. There's no gaps or anything, so that's perfect. I just need sealant all the way around. I'll seal from underneath as well, just to be doubly sure. I'm just about to mount the hob, and just to make it easier to mount the hob, I'm going to be securing it through the original feet, through the worktop, and when that's in and secure, it's not going to be going anywhere at all. I've taken off the actual hob itself from the frame, but I haven't touched the actual gas mechanisms at all. That's a full self-contained unit that's just held on by the screws. So you just take the screws out and the entire grill and hob unit comes away, and you don't need to interfere with any of the actual pipe work or anything. So now it's just a case of getting these screws through the original feet, through the worktop. That'll make sure that the hob's nice and secure. Then we'll just have to start piping in some gas line and we're almost there. Right, so there's the feet all secured in now, so as you can see when I'm moving the thing, the entire worktop's lifting. That's just because I've had it out so the sink and this can be fitted in, so the worktop hasn't been screwed back down yet, but as you can see that's nice and solid and secure. So now we just need to get the hob screwed back in, and as it's just straight into the mounting holes, nothing's been touched when this was taken out of the frame. So I'll get this back in that'll be the hob pretty much done. I'll just need to then drill a hole for the gas pipe to be fed down into where the gas bottle storage is going to be. But it's coming together quite nicely. So I've just reassembled the hob there. As I say, it's literally just a few screws either side, and that takes the entire unit out, and again just reverse to put it straight back in. Also put a bit of gas pipe on in anticipation of it then getting mounted, because it'll be a pain to try and get that on after the work unit's pushed all the way back. It's got a nice Jubilee clip on it, and it's nice and tight as well, just to be sure. So now I'm about to seal in the sink. I've had some Sikaflex in warm water, well hot water, to warm it up, because it's a pain in the arse just to squeeze out this amount of sealant in one go from the Sikaflex, because it's super thick stuff. So now that's warmed up, I'm just going to take the sink back out, do a full bead all the way around, put the sink back in, and then I'll put another bead around from underneath. So I'll get this in now as well. So many battery swaps later on, and I'm finally through the hole. I do recommend a 240 volt drill or a super strong battery for a drill. I've had to lend a different one off my brother, because the one I've got, it was just killing the battery straight away trying to get through that metal. But it's finally through, so there is the gas dropout hole all cut in. It's just going to need a little vent putting in. I've got one around somewhere, so I'll pop that in. Then I'll just create a little stand for the gas bottle to sit on, obviously not blocking the hole. And then if there were any issues, of which there shouldn't be, but worst case scenario if there were, it'll just drop beneath the bottle, straight out the hole and away from the van. So I'll get the vent in, do the same on the other side for the waste, and start putting all the panels back together. So for the waste side, I've just knocked the pilot hole through the floor, just again to be sure that it's going through the right place. I was actually under the van, because I've just finished securing the dropout vent for the gas side, and I've just basically measured straight across from where that was cut out, because there's limited space underneath the van really, where you've got all your brake pipes, your main supporting sills, this, that, the other. So I found a nice little spot, measured that one straight across, and then I'm just going to have the waste coming out, and I'm going to attach it to the side panel, and it'll be draining out there. I would have liked to have had it a little further over that side, but there's just too much stuff in the way. You've got the exhaust heat shield, things like that. I don't want to start drilling through anything, so I'd rather just go straight through where there's a little bit of plain floor. That's the best spot for it. So now that just needs widening out with a hole saw, slightly smaller than the other one. So I've got that one all prepped, ready to go. So I'll get that one drilled out, and that'll be ready to have the waste drainage fitted in as well. Now with this cupboard going to be a gas locker, I'm currently just got some Sikaflex warming up in a tub up inside the house, because I'm going to be pretty much running a full bead of Sikaflex going all the way around that panel, all the way along the bottom, all the way around the timber frame as well, because I want to be sure that if, and I do mean if, on the slightest chance there were any issues, which there shouldn't be, because there's only a bottle going to a hose, it's going to a hob. There's not a lot of, well, there's no complicated connections, joints, anything like that. But just in case, say for example, the regulator balls up or something like that, it means that this entire unit is going to be as good as airtight as I can get it, and then any actual escaping gas should just drop straight out the hole. I say it's more a case of safety first more than anything else. I don't anticipate there being any problems in here at all, but just in case, obviously I want to be sure that it's going to be 100% safe. So as soon as the Sikaflex is a little bit more pliable, then I'll be able to put a full bead going all the way around that back panel, all the way around the timber frame, just to be sure that it's pretty much close to being airtight. As I say, it's never going to be 100%, but as best as you can get it. It just means that then if there were any issues, the main place for any dropout is just going to be straight out the hole. So as I say, I'll pick it up when the Sikaflex is all pliable, and I'll run a full bead around that. I do like doing the reveal of peeling off the plastic. I'm going to leave most of the plastic actually on the doors and stuff, but this needs to come off because this is where the support's going to be going for the bed. And as I say, it's just revealing the lovely gloss sparkle material that I've used. It's really nice material. And I say it's brand new. I've still got all the film on and that, so I'm going to peel this off and get the panel on the front, and then as I say, it's pretty much done other than the tap and the water storage. So I've just been testing the sink just to make sure that it's watertight both around the actual top and underneath, and it's all fine. As you can see there, that's actually full of water. It's been sat there for a good 5 minutes and there's no drips at all around the underside. I've ran it a few times as well just to make sure the drainage is working, and it goes down, and there's another little drainage pipe sat inside a little grommet inside that pipe that runs under the van and just comes out at the little corner back there. So if you just empty it out, you can see it, no drips, no leaks, it just drains away. So now I just need the tap fitting in, and then that'll be the sink 100% complete. So just to add the finishing touches to the kitchen unit, the little tap's finally just arrived. I ordered it a few days off eBay, so I've had to wait for that to arrive. And I've also got the submersible pump as well. So I'm just going to drill a hole for the mounting for the tap. I'm just going to put that pretty much round about there, just so it can then fall down into the sink and back up again. Then it means it's not in the way on that side, it won't get caught when you're getting in and out of the door as well. So I'll get this mounted, show it running and working, and then that will be the kitchen unit all sorted. So I'll go and get my hole saw out and start fitting this, get all the wiring fed down into the fuse box that I've already wired underneath there as well. We'll give it a test fire and we'll show everything working. So there's the tap fitted and wired in place now. The wiring's really simple on these. It goes down to a submersible pump, and the wiring goes from your positive from your battery feed to the positive of the tap, then from the negative of the tap to the positive of the pump, then the positive of the pump back to the negative of your power supply. I've got a full video on my channel showing exactly how to wire it in. If you're not sure, have a look at my channel. There's a full video just showing exactly how to wire a microswitched tap to a pump to your power supply. But other than that, as I say, that's now the unit completely finished now. Inside the cupboard I've got battery storage, I've got a fuse panel and a common ground return for the negative. I've got direct drainage for the sink, and plenty of storage there just for water storage and for kitchen utensils, pots, pans, kettle, things like that. Obviously the battery in there is just a small little demonstration battery more than anything else. It could do with replacing with a proper leisure battery, but as I say, that's just in place just to show everything working and making sure everything's wired up and working as it should. And everything is. Just as a quick demo, I know you should have the pump in water, but just as a demo, you can see it kicking straight into life when I'm just turning the tap on. So that's all wired in, ready to go. Most of the cupboard, you can see most of the cupboards have still even got all the plastic protection on. I'm leaving all of this on just to get it peeled off at the very last minute. I might even leave it on for the new owner to peel off, just so you can see it's as new as it could be. Even the little sink cover, that's still got the plastic on it there as well, but if I just take that away, you can see that's a nice lovely little sink with full proper stopper drainer. That just pops straight up. The tap obviously just stands straight up out the way as well whenever you need it to, and just go straight down into the sink, back up. The hob wise, that's all wired in. I've got the gas turned on, and that's just a nice simple straightforward 2-burner hob with a grill as well. As you can see, it's all brand new, the grill, everything's never been used. I've already just plumbed it in and turned the gas on there just to make sure it's working. As you can see there, lovely little blue flame. So that's now ready to be cooked on with kettles, pots, whatever. Fully adjustable as any hob is. Turn it off, and then in the other side I've got the gas and bottle storage. As you can see there, I've got the dropout hole just in case there were any issues. There should never be any issues, but just in case for safety, it's always better to be safe than sorry. So it's got a full dropout hole, and the bottle is raised off the floor, so if there were any issues, the gas would drop beneath the bottle and straight out the hole. The full cupboard's been fully sealed up, as you can see inside as well, all the way around. Everywhere is fully sealed, including all the way down the beam of the actual unit as well. You just got a straight pipe going straight up through into the actual back of the hob. So as I say, it's a really straightforward construction on it. Now because it's got the full metal splashback on the lid as well, that will protect the carpet just from any heat build up. but obviously if you're cooking you're going to be having a kettle or pans or frying pan or whatever on it anyway, so that's going to be absorbing all the heat. But obviously it's always good to have some sort of splashback. If it didn't come with that lid that acts as a splashback and heat guard, I would have put a metal sheet similar to how I did with the Hi-Jet, and then that would have just been removable, but as I say, it's just not needed with this one. Now I've also built it so it's actually part of the bed support. That's why it's got this extra board on the front here. This full lip acts as a full support for the bed board, so I won't make it fully up, but as you can see it just slides across and it'll just sit on there. Obviously when it's pulled fully out, as I say, I'm just not going to bother with that. There's a full bed build video on my channel, so have a look at that if you want to see how I've built the bed for this van. As I say, this video is just about the unit, and that's why it's got that extra board on it there, just as support for the actual bed itself for when it's made into a double. So that's how I have made my little full kitchen camper pod for this little Ford Connect. I'm turning into a full DVLA registered micro camper van. Now this should pass all of the requirements for the DVLA. It's got the 2-burner hub, I've got water storage, water drainage, I've got storage compartments, and now the van itself should be able to tick everything else off as well, because I've got the window in the side panel, I've got a door, I've got access on storage under the bed as well. So that's pretty much all you need to have it registered by the DVLA as a camper van as well. So now this is fully built up, fully installed, I'm now going to be able to send off the V5 and get it re-registered as a camper van. So I hope you found this video useful. If you did, do have a look at my channel. I've got probably close to 100 videos on there covering conversions of a VW-T4, Daihatsu Hi-Jet, this Ford Connect, and there's also going to be a VW-T5 high top coming soon as well. So as I say, do have a look at my channel, do hit the subscribe button if you haven't already as well, and I would appreciate it if you do give it an old thumbs up as well. It always goes down and helps my channel rating, it always helps with YouTube, all that type of stuff as well. So thumbs up, hit the subscribe, check my channel for more videos, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Cheers.